Well, morning guys, and welcome back to another day on the farm. So, as you guys can probably see by this dog yard here, a tree went down straight over the top of it, which hopefully that'll be my thumbnail, a picture of that tree. But yeah, we got smashed by a really nasty storm on the weekend. Dad's already started cleaning it up, he started chopping it up. But yeah, that was the tree, fell down over the yard there. We also had another one fall down, and that fell directly between a couple of the dog yards too, so very, very lucky not to have done any more damage. But that storm, that was an absolute doozy of a storm. We were forecast to get 1 to 2 millimetres of rain on Saturday, and she came through and dumped about 35 millimetres in about 30 minutes. There was water running everywhere, trees down, probably about, 6 to 8 k's to the southwest of us. They got what could only be described as horrendous hail. I'd say that they'd be staring down the barrel of pretty close to 100% crop losses over there in some areas, so we were spared a lot of the worst of it, so we really can't complain too much. But yeah, apart from a few dinged up field bins and a few things like that, we were very, very lucky. So you guys might remember a couple of videos ago, I was sorting out all these field bins here, cleaning them out, putting them all back over here. Well, there was field bins, there was these three here which have grain in them. There was all field bins here stacked up. Well, the wind got hold of these and pushed them back. Those ones are alright, they're the new bins, and they're a bit bigger and a bit heavier, and they seem to have held up okay. This one here got picked up by the wind and thrown over into these silos here, but apart from maybe a bit of a dent up the top, I think this bin here is going to be okay. So that's not too bad. Those two bins were already back there. I assume that they were maybe a little bit sheltered there, so they just didn't really get moved. These two bins here were back here. Alright, they got picked up by the wind. They came all the way out here. One of them was all the way out on the road out there. Okay, this one just here, that was all the way out there on the road. It was on its wheels. Same with this one here, the wind's picked it up, put it on its wheels. And yeah, I don't really know how they got or especially this one got all the way out there. You can see Dad's dragged it back here to get it off the road, but it's definitely bounced off a few things on the way out. There's a few dings in it, a few dents. Yeah, hopefully it hasn't really done any damage to it to where it's going to leak any water or anything in, but I don't know. Oh, we were very lucky, put it this way. I did take a picture of someone's field bin out in their paddock, about 15 k's west of here. That field bin got picked up and shredded like a tin can. So if I've got the picture, I'll try and put it up now so you can see it. Anyway, most certainly not what we need at this time of the year. We're probably about 7 days away from starting harvest. Well, we would be, but we got another hell of a storm coming our way in a couple of days, so that's going to bring us a lot of rain, probably a lot of wind. We've probably already sustained a little bit of loss from the wind from that last storm. This is just going to slow us down again. We've got some crops that are just about ready to go. We're not going to be able to get to them, unfortunately, before this storm, so we're just going to have to sit back and pray and hope that it really doesn't do too much damage. So I was pretty much finished with all my maintenance and everything on the header here, and apparently these things break down when they're in the shed, because I was sort of just putting a few guards and stuff back on, and I noticed this pump here which drives the reel, that thing that spins around, feeds the crop in, that was running a little bit of oil out of the bottom, just like down here, and I thought, oh well, that's great. So we got that fixed anyway. That pump's been it's had a seal kit put through it and some new bearings and that in it, but that mounts up just here. So that's the only thing I got left to do on this, and then it's all systems go pretty much, which is pretty exciting. I'm going to get that on, and then we're going to get connected up to the front, give everything a check over, give everything a run. And then we just need some weather so we can get out and start harvesting. Alright, well, it's in. I have actually just remembered that we're supposed to have a car in town today to have some new tyres put on it, so I probably should go drop that in there before they ring me up and are upset, because that'll be the second time that I forgot to drop it in. Alrighty, well, I got rid of the car, which is good. I'm going to put some oil back in this thing, get it running, but we've had some eventuations. The old man was just, he's out doing a bit of sheep work with our stock agent, and he stopped past, he saw the neighbours madly trying to bale some hay out that way, and you know, they're trying to bale it because we're expected to get all this rain during the week, and we didn't bale any hay this year, we're just going to buy some, but the problem is now any hay that's left on the ground over the next few days is going to get severely weather damaged. So he said to him, well, do you guys want to bale a couple of extra truckloads today and just drop it straight off to us? So they're going to do that, which means I'm going to get sidetracked from what I'm doing here, and I'm going to have to unload some hay, I guess. Which I'm not going to lie about is actually kind of annoying, because I really wanted to have this thing done and finished and cleaned up and sitting in the shed waiting for harvest before this rain comes, but maybe that won't be the case. Alright, let's blow some smoke. We'll see if we haven't got any leaks or anything anywhere. Then we're going to connect up to the front, give everything a run. Alright, well, we're on, connected. In the meantime, I'm going to go over to this hay shed over here, and there's a feed mixer sitting in there and some other things, and we'll have a look, get it cleared out so we can put some hay in there. Hey, how you going? What did you want to do with this old hay in here? Did you say something about moving some of that, or? Alright. Well, all this, whatever's left in here is just last season's hay, and because it was so wet last spring, all this hay was really badly weather damaged, so we're going to get that out of the way, and then we'll just start stacking the shed afresh, basically. So yeah, let's get to it. Oh no. You okay, man? You okay? That's alright, it'll buff out. Alright, we're all done there. Better go and collect this car, I guess.
Hello.
Is that you tooting the horn?
Is it you tooting the horn?
You ready to go get this car? Yeah?
Should you sit in your seat?
Well, we picked up the little car in town and I almost forgot. I dropped these off the other day. These are the gauge wheels for the front here. They go on there. So that's good, because they were leaking. Well, one of them I pumped up and I could just hear it leaking down, so that was obviously no good whatsoever. I have actually noticed that since I've connected this up, I've got an oil leak here somewhere. I don't know if you can see that. That's really annoying. I don't really know where that's coming from, and I don't really want to deal with it, but I'm gonna have to because it's leaking that bad. There's always something. Always something. Well, yet another day of them saying we've got next to no chance of rain, and what is coming over us now? Rain. And I've just cleared that hay out of the shed to put the new stuff in. Might have to go back and start restacking the shed. Oh, I'll get this old hay back in the shed, and hopefully by then our truck's here with the hay and I'll unload him and we'll put that straight in the shed. And you know what? I've just about killed the day then, to be honest. Well, my truck actually arrived straight after I finished restacking these ones here, so I'm going to get busy loading this up because it's just trickling with rain out here, and I just want to get them in the shed. So I'm going to get that done. Might see you guys in the morning. Good morning, gorgeous. Looking good. Well, as you might be able to tell, it is not the next morning like I was saying in the last clip I took, and that's because it just rained and rained and rained and rained a little bit more. It rained for about 5 or 6 days straight. So yesterday was the first time it didn't rain. Managed to get out and do a couple of small things around, just gave the header a clean off there, as you can see. I got to go mail some stuff off, and we've had a phone call from a neighbour. Yeah, apparently we've had some hail damage out at Belaley North, so I'll take you guys out for a bit of a look at that, I think. Me and Dad have had a brief look at it, but yeah, we're waiting. We need an assessor to come out and yeah, see what the damage is. So not really ideal, but that's the way it goes. The weather's just been very volatile this year, unfortunately. So we actually ended up having 95.5 millimeters of rain, so just shy of 4 inches, like that close, in 9 days. So yeah, and to add insult to injury, we're expecting more rain again this week and possibly again Tuesday next week. So we've got a couple of dry days now and then the rain's coming right back again. You beauty. So I gotta say, it has been like incredibly hard lately to pick up the camera. I've been absolutely shocking. I've had no routine. There's been no continuity with sort of anything that I've done lately. It's been a very broken period, really busy. Just harvest has been sneaking up on us a lot quicker than I had anticipated, and yeah, there was a lot of work to be done. The last thing on my mind was picking up the camera during a lot of that stuff. Not to mention, I think we had to go down to Adelaide for weddings, funerals, doctor appointments, about 4 out of 5 weeks. So it's sort of been it's been very, very stop-start, hit and miss, busy, stressful time. So I'm sort of hoping that I can get back to a bit more of a routine now, and harvest is coming up soon, whenever we get rid of all this bloody terrible wet weather that's been going on. Would have been nice a month ago if we could have got all that rain, but anyway, that's the way it goes. So hopefully start punching out a fair bit of content over harvest. Might be a little bit slow because it's kind of like, I got to film everything, I got to edit it, post it, plus I got to do harvest. So I got to sit in the header all day, every day. It's kind of like being the chef, the waiter, and the customer, if you know what I mean. But anyway, yeah, just thought I'd address that quickly anyway. This paddock right here is our worst paddock on our worst land, pretty much. So it is a stinking short barley crop. It got dry sown, there's plenty of wheat in it, and it also got hail damage. So Anyway, we'll have a look. Yeah. You see all these heads dangling down? That's been pretty well stripped of grain, that one. Lots of heads dangling over. You see even in the ones that are still standing, that one there, completely stripped of grain. Look at all that there, that's all been bowled over. I mean, I guess if it was going to hail anywhere, we'd prefer a hail down here on this land because it doesn't really produce much of a crop anyway. I mean, at the end of the day, the crop's insured, so it doesn't really matter all that much, but geez, I think there could be, I mean, we were thinking maybe 20 or 30%, but I think it could be a lot more. I mean, here's two heads that haven't even been knocked over and they're completely stripped. So it's not only the stuff that's knocked over, it's stuff like that that's still standing that you sort of don't take too much notice of, and that's completely stripped. So she's a bit beaten up. Anyway, fortunately, it's not the whole paddock that actually got hailed. It's kind of cut across the bottom part of this flat here and done damage. So in that regard, we're lucky. We have to wait till the assessor comes out and he'll probably determine more where the hail sort of cuts off and that. We've had a little bit of a look and it doesn't seem to be the whole paddock, so lucky in that regard. Alrighty guys, I'm going to leave this video here. Thought I better get a bit of an ending to it. Pretty disappointing with the hail. The wet weather's really holding us back with harvest, getting into harvest, but you can't control the weather at the end of the day. So thank you very much for watching. We'll see you all later. Hopefully, maybe next time I might be sitting in the header. We'll see. Have a good one. We'll see you next time. Well, I don't know that Dad will be overly impressed with the hail, but one thing he'll be impressed with is the amount of sheep feed that's left over in that paddock after we harvest it.